Alright, we got problem number one, wife. So another problem we just ran into. I got good news and bad news. Another problem we ran into. Another little problem we noticed when we got up this morning is another problem. Hi, welcome back, and if you're new to our channel, this is Drive North. We are part-time RVers up in Minnesota. We have a long-term plan of going full-time, but in the meantime, we share our RV adventures. We do a lot of RV walk-around and reviews, and we also started an RV rental business, and we share our experiences with that. And in this video, we're going to be headed up to St. Cloud to pick up a brand new RV. We just purchased a 2020 Grand Design 2400 BH. So it's kind of bittersweet. On one hand, we're super excited. I mean, this is our dream camper for our current life situation. But at the other time, we're a little nervous with how coronavirus is going on.
We have several rentals lined up right now. We've only had one cancellation so far. Minnesota state parks are closed for overnight rental. Many of our renters go to the state parks, so we're not sure how that's going to affect us going forward. Husband is in law enforcement, so he does have a stable job, and so we might just set aside our tax return to help with some of the camper payments if lots of rentals cancel.
Hopefully that doesn't happen, but so we'll try to put all our worries aside and just kind of enjoy this experience of getting a new camper the best we can. Our plan is to leave for Lee, Minnesota here, head up to St. Cloud to pick it up at Pleasureland RV, and it's going to be a really simple pickup. Usually you go and you spend like, I don't know, an hour with somebody going through a complete walkthrough. That's been canceled. We're just going to pick it up and go, which is okay. We have some experience and we know how most RV systems work. And we're going to take it directly to Dakotah Meadows to do a couple nights camping in it, just to kind of go through all the systems, make sure everything's working. Because we want, if there's something that needs to be fixed or repaired, we want to bring it back to the dealership ASAP, so it'll be all ready to go for our first renter. We got kind of lucky. This Dakotah Meadows was the only campground we could find that was open. And part of that is seasonal. Most campgrounds in Minnesota don't open up till May 1st, but we actually called to make this reservation, and the day we called to make it, they said at the end of the day at 4 o'clock, they're stopping all reservations. We were like one of the last people to get in. That's a pretty nice RV resort. So that's our plan. Next stop, Pleasureland St. Cloud. For who's ever picking up that solitude. That's our dream rig. That's kind of fun, like our long-term retirement dream rig parked right next to our current dream rig. I just checked, it's 26 degrees and the wind must be what, 10 to 15 miles per hour?
Oh yeah.
Which means it's probably like a 10-degree wind chill right now.
Yeah, it feels really chilly.
It's cold.
Typically 26 doesn't feel too bad.
It'll be warm soon.
But it does today.
When you staying? Just tonight and tomorrow?
Yeah, 2 nights.
Okay.
So,
Kids are at home.
Oh, there you go.
our GoPro fell off. I've had this GoPro for a couple years. I've never had this happen, but we get to Subway about a mile away and look, and the GoPro's off, but we can see it's still recording. And you know, I think I see it right there.
It's under a mixture pine trees and regular trees.
Which I think is right by the dealership. I feel like kind of stupid. Making progress.
Yeah.
We're at Walmart because they didn't have everything we needed at Pleasureland. You know, I'm surprised they wouldn't give us a hitch pin.
Yeah.
$1.29 for two of them.
I know.
Like, why wouldn't
that would have been included?
I know, $1.29. All right, stop number 3 is Camping World. Walmart didn't have hardly any camping stuff, so hopefully they have the rest of the accessories we need here. Then we can get on to our campsite. Alright, we just pulled into our site at Dakotah Meadows. Now we start the process of moving in and figuring out how to get everything hooked up here. Like a second time in this rig. Oh, and it is freezing. It's 33 when we pulled in, we're up to 34. Alright, we got problem number 1, wife.
Okay.
So they just washed this yesterday, and then last night it got well below freezing, so a lot of the stuff outside got frozen shut, like our hitch. They had to get that spray out to get the hitch to move because it was frozen. The storage compartment is frozen on that one side right next to where the all-in-one hookup is with the water and the electric. And you can tell they bent one of the keys trying to get this one open, and I don't want to break a key off in there. And I don't think the cord's long enough to go in through here and then out and around. Yeah, so we got to find a way to thaw that thing out. Okay, one idea I have for fixing our key problem. The gas will work with the stove. We can boil a pot of water, put the key in the boiling water, and put that in the lock. What do you think?
What did the freezer get? I mean, what did the heater of the truck get it just
we'll try putting the key in the vents of the truck with the heat on full blast, but I don't know if that'll get hot enough. I think it's like totally frozen shut.
Yeah.
Okay, backup plan. Boil the water. Wait, do we have a pot to boil water in?
We have a little frying pan that'll work.
Okay. Alright. Alright, that's our plan. Ready?
Yeah.
Key is hot.
Okay. Come on, key. Oh. Oh my gosh.
We didn't even have to boil water.
Victory!
All the adventures. So, a nice camper wife.
Yes, super exciting.
Although, it's still very
Creamer?
cold.
We have our creamer, but no coffee maker.
Oh, yeah, that might be a trip to Walmart. I don't know how we're going to do the morning without coffee.
No.
So when you pick up your RV at the dealership, you've only just started to begin the process of spending money. This is just a sampling of what we've bought to get started, and we don't even have everything on our list yet. I'll kind of show you some of the things that are necessary and some extra things that we bought. Okay, sewer hose, wheel chocks. Let's see, we got some bedding, floor Swiffers. This is for the black tank flush. You gotta have a separate hose for that. Spent a little extra and got a 0G long drinking water hose, water filter. I actually bought 2 sewer wraps. One's for this rig and then one's for our Mallard as well. Propane tank gauge. Gotta have your toilet paper. Extra lap sealant. This is some chemicals for the toilet. There's our Swiffer. Got a little cover for a power tongue jack. This is a water pressure regulator with a built-in 90-degree angle on it. This is a spare part for our Mallard, our propane tank tightener latch thing. A little caddy for the hoses. Mattress protector. Foam topper, because RV mattresses are notoriously horrible. And then because we're no longer campers, we are officially RV glampers. 1 TV is not enough. We got a second TV with a built-in DVD player for the bedroom. So we, in total, spent $238 at Camping World.
Right.
We spent $135 at Walmart and $152 at Pleasureland for a total of $525. Like I said, we still have, I want to get some wheel chocks that go in between the tires, Anderson levelers. I mean, there's still another probably $300 worth of accessories that we need to get. So if you're getting a new RV and you want to do it right, plan on another, I don't know, $500 to $1,000 you're going to spend in extra stuff. So another problem we just ran into is that after we get all hooked up, we find that the water's not working. They said it was on for the park when we made a reservation, but I'm guessing because it dropped well below freezing, they might have shut it off. Hoping tomorrow, it's supposed to be 47, that it'll be back on, but for right now, we do not have water. So we might have to hook back up and go find a place to fill our tanks. I'm hoping they have a place to do that on site, but kind of a pain after we all got all hooked up, but we'll figure it out. Alright, I got good news and bad news.
Okay.
Bad news, water's turned off till next week. Good news, 2 good newses. This thing has really large holding tanks.
Yes.
And there's a laundry room that has a hose already there to fill up your rigs with fresh water.
Okay.
Another good news is we haven't fully unhooked.
Yeah.
So, jacks up, slide in, go get water.
Okay.
Alright. Here's that laundry room that has the hose for fresh water. And another problem we ran into, because it got below freezing the other night, so many systems are jammed up, being half frozen. That's a shutoff valve for the freshwater holding tank, and it's not shutting all the way. And you can see the icicles around it. So there's still some ice jammed in that. I'm kind of hoping with getting some warmer water in there, it'll open it up and I can get that all the way shut. Because that's not going to work leaking like that. We'll see. Alright, I've been working this for like 10-15 minutes now as it fills up, and we're starting to make progress. It's down to a slow drip. I think we might make this work. Oh, finally, it stopped leaking. Alright, wife, we're going to make this trip work yet.
Okay.
It's the last thing we do.
Good.
This has just not been easy so far. Our being in Minnesota is hard. First world problem. A lot of new novelties for us in this camper. One of them being, we've never had an RV with an oven before, so I thought it'd be kind of fun to actually do some baking our first trip. So I had the wife bring some cookie mix along, and we baked cookies. Now I've heard these RV ovens aren't the greatest. They don't do the most even cooking. And I can kind of see that's true. We got a couple burnt ones in the back, some decent ones up front. So yeah, kind of note to self, maybe rotate the cookies around next time. Another problem. Luckily I had to run out to the truck to get something before we called it a night, and water was spewing out everywhere. Turns out the drain plug on the water heater was never put in. So it just would have been really nice to do a good walkthrough at the dealership. These are the things that happen when you don't. Another little problem we noticed right when we got up this morning is this vent fan in the kitchen. It's actually got a little bit of a leak going on. At first I thought maybe the vent was open causing that, but even it was shut, and even then it shouldn't be leaking through the trim piece there. I'm going to take this trim apart and see what's going on, but that's a little scary. Just checking out that top vent here where it was dripping. Looks like the seal is all good. I'm just thinking with all that freezing that went on, it probably just... Oh, there's somebody. Yeah, so I think some moisture just got in here and then dripped down the outside of that housing or trim piece. You know, just because it was water, then went to freezing, and then the heat from the inside probably melted it before it could evaporate. I'm not seeing like a major problem. Alright, let's talk about our RV park here. We're at Dakotah Meadows. This is an RV park. They have 122 sites. Most are pull-ins, but they do have backup sites too. They are in Prior Lake, which is about 25 minutes south of Minneapolis. And I think the biggest claim to fame with this RV park is that it's right next to Mystic Lake Casino, which you can see in the background there. I think that's one of the largest casinos in the state. I'm not a casino guy, so I don't know, but this park was rated the #1 RV park in Minnesota a couple years back by some travel gaming magazine. I don't know the name of it, but I don't know. We don't do a lot of RV parks. We mostly do state parks, so I really can't attest to how it compares to other RV parks in Minnesota. It is nice. I could see why it'd be popular, being that it's close to the casino. It's not too far from the Mall of America from Minneapolis, and the place itself is pretty well maintained. I mean, they have these, everything's paved. The pads for your rig are nice level concrete pads. Most of them are drive-through, and they're a little squishy, especially on the passenger or the driver's side of your RV. You kind of share this center median for your hookups. Kind of reminds me of like a little gas pump island, but so you got to position your rig carefully if you have slide outs, so you're not banging into the rig next to you. The primo sites would be the backup sites that outline the perimeter. Those are actually pretty nice. And all the facilities, we're kind of still in the off season here, and with the temperatures dropping below freezing this weekend, they actually shut down all the bathhouses, all the water, and with Corona too, nothing is open. So I can't tell you how nice and clean the showers and all that are. From the outside, it looks like they would probably be pretty clean and well maintained. They have a playground, they have a pavilion, they have this nice little pond you can walk around, and overall it seems like a well-maintained park. Now the biggest problem I have with this park is they kind of allude to their higher end RV park, but it doesn't seem like they really have any standards as to what type of rig they allow in here. Most of the rigs here are pretty nice, well maintained, but there are some rigs here, and you can tell the people are doing long-term stays here, and they don't belong in a RV park like this, or even a mid-range park. I've never been to a campground that had so many dilapidated rigs here, and it just makes you feel uncomfortable, and it kind of takes away from your experience a bit, having to walk by these rigs that are just gross, and they got garbage and stuff piled all around, crappy makeshift insulation, and I've been in law enforcement for 21 years. I know a shady dude when I see one, and there's been some shady dudes coming and going from here. And, we had to take our rig up for 5 minutes to get water, and I didn't feel comfortable leaving our $5 wheel chocks out. And it's hard. I don't want to be like extra harsh on these people. They need a place to stay too, but it's kind of makes you wonder why they're staying here, because this place isn't cheap. Especially if you're doing long term, you just think there'd be maybe a more appropriate place to do long-term stays than Dakotah Meadows RV Park. So overall, if it weren't for the dilapidated rigs that are here and there, I would be close to giving this place a 5 stars for an RV park. You know, you don't get your extra private sites that you would in a state park, but yeah, overall, not a bad place. So as of now, I'd probably give it 4 out of 5 stars. Okay, quick post-trip recap here. First of all, I wanted to point out that even though we had a lot of little problems, really they had nothing to do with our Grand Design rig. Really, it was all weather related, and once we got that sorted out, the rig worked great all weekend. All the systems were working well, and we're really happy with it. In fact, the only thing that I found that was not perfect was a little bit of loose trim near the outdoor kitchen, but all in all, not that big of a deal. So, you know, coming up, we got a lot planned. We just joined Harvest Host, and if you're unfamiliar with Harvest Host, this is a company that works with businesses like wineries, organic farms, golf courses, museums, businesses across the country that allow you to stay or boondock on their property for free. So we joined that membership, and we got a couple places we want to check out. However, currently Minnesota has a shelter-in-place order going on, so we're abiding by that as those plans are put off just for a little bit. Hopefully this corona thing resolves itself sooner rather than later. But in the meantime, we have some modifications and some additions we're doing to the Grand Design. Once we get those added on and sorted out, we'll give you a full walk-around tour and review of the camper. And yeah, a lot going on this summer. We got a lot of trips planned. Once the rental season gets underway, we'll kind of share our experiences with how that's going. But yeah, stay tuned. A lot coming up. Again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.